Hello guys, Jacob from Team Crossfighters here with another deck profile from Team League 2014 Swedish qualifiers that we did win. This deck is our second player's Alec Rollemark's decks that he played, and he played Star Raiders Link Joker. So yeah, let's get into it. The starter, we run Dusttail Unicorn. Dusttail is really good starter because of his effect, and it's a forerunner of course. He has the effect of counter plus 1. When you have locked one unit on your opponent's side, you can pay his cost, put him to soul, and lock another unit. This makes him really viable because you can lock 2 cards easily on the same turn. And yeah, it's put a lot of work in. So yeah, let's get over into the triggers. We run 4 heals. Not much to say, they're really good, staple in every deck. So yeah, really good. Then we run 8 criticals. The reason why we run 8 is because you want to put a lot of pressure on your opponent with this deck, and also you have a lot of draw power already, so you don't need more draws than the 4 you already have, because you don't want to deck yourself out too fast, and that's a risk that already exists in this deck. So if the game gets stalled, so yeah, that's why we run 8 crits and 4 draws. I mean. So over to grade 1s, we have the best card in the game, 4 perfect cards. Yeah, not much to say about them. Staple, and you need them in this format with break rides. Then we run 4 Palladium. Palladium is a really good card that you put in a lot of work in this deck. He has effect when one of your opponent's locked units are getting unlocked. You can counter blast 1, put him into soul, and relock it. So you can prolong the locked effect thanks to that, and you also fill up soul that you deplete quite fast within this deck. Takes 2 thanks to Chaos Breaker. And you have also a good combo with the Chaos Breaker with this effect. That is, if you use his effect, you can still use the limit break to get a draw card, but don't destroy that card. So it's like you interrupt the limit break before, after the draw, but before the destroying part. So yeah, it's really good. Putting a lot of pressure on your opponent. Then we run 4 Lanternum. Lanternum is a really good card because every time you lock a unit, he gets 2k power. So say he pumps up to 9, 11, 20, 13. So it's really good. With just 1 lock and the total attacker is for 21, medical number for almost every deck nowadays. So yeah, really good card, putting a lot of pressure, power wise this time, and you don't have so much power in this deck, it's more control based. And then we run 2 Aurora Reed Eagle. Sorry, I'm a little tired, just got home from Stockholm. His effect, when it's unit boost, if you have more rear guards than your opponent, he boosts for another 4k, so it's a 10k booster for Vanguard. If you have more Vanguards, more rear guards than your opponent. So it's really good. Some run the special booster for Chaos Breaker in this deck. The reason why we don't run it is because we find that we are often more often have more rearguards than your opponent, and that's not only when they're locked. So he's a more consistent 10k booster than the other card that only boosts if you have a locked unit on your opponent's side. The only downside with this card is it doesn't boost so well when you meet a mirror match. So that's a downside, but if you don't gonna meet so many mirror matches, this card is really good and put us in a lot of pressure. Especially with a grade 2 that we go into now. That is Mobile Breath Dragon. Mobile Breath has an effect that only can activate on Vanguard, and that is if this unit attack hits, you can lock a unit. And thanks to Aurora Regal, you can easily attack for 19, and because of today's meta, you don't have so many 10k grade 2 in your deck. And yeah, making it a 15k guard for 1 to pass is nothing you really want to guard on your second turn in the game. So yeah, put in a lot of pressure in this combo, and yeah, just to give your opponent a first taste of that lock mechanic. That's really good. Then we run 4 Colony Maker. Colony Maker is a really good card. He's a 9k and has effect when your opponent has one or more locked units on the side of the field. You can counterblast 1 when this unit is called to rearguard. And you can superior call a grade 1 or less to the field. So this is really good. It doesn't need to be behind your discard, so when it's not in the same column, you can put it anywhere you want. So a Royal Eagle is a common search target. And you also get a free card, so you don't need to use your hand so much. So yeah, he's really good, putting a lot of pressure. And then we run 4 Radons. Radon is the 12k attacker for Star Raider, and you only have Star Raiders in this deck, so you can see the consistent 12k attacker on your turn. Otherwise he's a 9k, and it's on rear. Really good if you have the Latino behind him. He easily hit 421. So that's really good, and yeah, putting a lot of pressure on opponent. And now over to the Great Freeze. We run 4 Infinite Zero Dragon. He is the breaker of the deck. So his first effect is when you attack a Vanguard, he gets 2k power. And his limit break and breaker skill is when this unit when a unit rises over this unit, that unit gets 10k power, and you get to lock 1 front row and 1 back row for opponent. If this requirement with the lock can't be fulfilled, you can't break ride, just so you know. That's the downside with the break ride, but the lock is really good and makes your opponent think really hard how they set up the fields, and yeah, can make them quite confused. So that's really good. It also sets up for the main card 4 Chaos Breaker Dragons. Chaos Breaker is the new main Vanguard for Link Joker. He's really good, putting in a lot of pressure. He has 2 effects. The first effect, non-limit break, is counterblast 1. Discard 1 Star Raider from your hand. Choose one of your opponent's rearguards and lock it. You can only use this effect once per turn. So that's a restriction, but it's also a really good way to keep control on your opponent's field. And because you only have Colony Maker that is counterblasting else in this deck, you can use him at least 4 or 5 times. So that's really good. So yeah, you can also say that your opponent will have only 2 rows to attack with in 4 turns. That's really good. and you save a lot of guards on that. His limit break is also really amazing. When opponent's unit is unlocked, you can choose to Soul Blast 1 and destroy that unit and draw a card. So you know that card you ditched for the other effect, you just got it back. And also your opponent did lose a card. Yeah, that's quite broken. The only downside with this effect is you can't use it how many times because you need to have cards in soul to use it. But that's why we have the Dust Tail and Palladiums that you can refill your souls. So yeah, really good thing to know about Chaos Breaker is that he's really good on his own. You don't need to break right with him to make the most of him. He's really good on his own also, so sometimes it's better to ride him than him. Yes or no? Well, I hope to see you next time. Bye!